Shauna Swan is a leading environmental and reproductive epidemiologist and professor of environmental and public health at the Icahn School of Medicine at New York City's Mount Sinai Hospital. She's been studying the impact of chemicals found in everyday products like plastics and electronics on infertility. I spoke with her recently about her latest book, Countdown: How Our Modern World is Threatening Sperm Counts, Altering Male and Female Reproductive Development, and Imperiling the Future of the Human Race. So what are those chemicals found in around us? How are we interacting with them? And what is the risk that they pose during conception and in utero?
So first of all, which chemicals? I focused on a class of chemicals called phthalates, and these are chemicals, a pretty big class, that make plastic soft and flexible, also present in cosmetics and personal care products, room fresheners, and anything fragranced. These chemicals have the ability to lower testosterone. And I did a series of studies to look for it in humans. Other chemicals involved that are important is bisphenol A, the bisphenols, which are estrogenic and also interfere with reproduction and neurodevelopment and lots of things in our bodies. And then there are other classes of chemicals in pesticides and flame retardants, in PFAS. And basically, these are things in all of our lives all of the time.
I know in the title of the book you're looking at sperm counts, but you spend several chapters on just fertility overall, that men and women are facing challenges to fertility, and it's happening, relatively speaking, when you think of human evolution, in the blink of an eye in 30 or 40 years.
It's happening to men and women, and as well, I should add, non-human species. And what we see is that the decline in the number of children that people have is 1% per year worldwide over the past 50 years. That's true of developed countries and underdeveloped countries. And the same rate of decline, 1% per year, is what we see for the decline in sperm count, what we see for the decline in testosterone, we see for the increase in miscarriage risks. And we've examined in our book, Countdown, how each of these endpoints is deteriorating, if you will, at the same rate, about 1% per year, which is another bit of evidence, although not conclusive, that these are related to a common cause.
Are there other factors that could account for this general decline in birth rate or replacement rate that we talk about?
Absolutely. There's no doubt that social factors, personal choice, play an important role. But there's also no doubt in my mind that these chemicals also play a role. One of the telling things is that it's not just older people that are having trouble. Young women today at 25 are less fertile than women their grandmothers were when they were 45. And we see that with men as well. Their sperm counts are below what their grandfathers was.
What's the long-term consequence here? We don't have any magic wand that's going to stop all the chemicals that are around us from being around us. Look out into the future, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
Well, it doesn't look good, but I hope we do have a magic wand. I think that we have the ability to change the chemicals that are around us, and I think we have to do it pretty quickly. I think we need these products for our daily lives. We're used to them, we want them. And so they have to be made with safer chemicals. And we have to have legislation and regulation that ensures that the chemicals that go into these products are safer for us. But it does take a huge effort, and it takes people understanding the problem, recognizing the problem, committing to taking action. And that's what I'm hoping Countdown will do.
All right, Shauna Swan of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. The book is called Countdown: How Our Modern World is Threatening Sperm Counts, Altering Male and Female Reproductive Development, and Imperiling the Future of the Human Race. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Harry. Nice to be here.